All right. We are live. We are live. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Knuckles Media, not Knuckles Media Feeds, but Knuckles Family or Friend podcast, where we discuss all things in pop culture, whether it's video games, comics, anime, all that good stuff. And it's been a while, a little bit of a while since we talked about X-Men 97. It's been like maybe like a week and a half or so. I can't really remember. Life goes by fast. I got my guy Anthony with me, and Reese will be joining us later on. He's got kids, so when people have kids, when you give them a time schedule, when people have kids, expect them to be a bit late because kids get in the way and stuff like that. So you never know what to expect. So hopefully Reese will be joining us, and will be joining us maybe like in a couple minutes, 10 minutes, like regardless though, it doesn't matter what time we get her. Like he's always, I will not be mad at him showing up late because he got kids. But the reason why I haven't, we didn't do episode 3 and 4. I was getting ready for my trip for SumiCon. I got back last Monday, and it feels like yesterday I was just there. Like it just went by really, really fast, and I had a lot of fun. I don't know if you saw any of the pictures that I posted. I only posted like one set of photos so far, so I had to post the other ones, but it was a lot of fun. Like when you go to an 18 only con, 18 not 18, well, not 18, no 18 only, 18 and up con with no kids there, it's great. It's great.
I was gonna say 18 only.
Oh yeah, that would like that'd be like, yo, 18, no Diddy on that part right there. My God, no Diddy on that part right there. Yeah, no, 18 and older. Yeah. They guy, wait, did I just say 18 only? Yo, this 3002 black man at an 18-year-old con right now. Like, yo, we'll talk about it. I could easily pass for an 18-year-old too because I look like I'm freaking like I'm 16 still or 17 or some shit like that. but luckily, no. I mean, I meant 18 and older, folks. Don't try to touch my words right now. But it was a lot of fun. I miss the people that I met there last year. I saw them again, and I miss them because I was saying this before to a couple of my friends is that New York Comic Con or any cons around this area, when it's the last day, it's still sad, but it's like the friends I have, we're not too far from each other. We're not like 5 hours on our stay. Whereas like DreamCon and SumiCon, I met people from like California, Texas, or like the DreamCons like all over the country, and it's like, damn, man. So last day seeing each other. Not it could be a last day seeing each other, but like last time our convention. When's the next time we're gonna see each other? We don't know because we're just too far from each other. Whereas New York Comic Con, we're not too far. Like on like PA, Jersey, New York. It's not a far drive really, but But yeah, I said honestly, I still miss them. It sucks. It sucks. I get sometimes I get emotional about it. Like I'm getting emotional, running getting emotional talking about this episode, X-Men 97. But before we get into that, I do want to touch base on 3 and 4 real fast, and I wish Reese was here right now because I want to ask him that because how episode 2 ended, we saw another Jean. Apparently, the Jean that was in the first episodes, she's technically the clone, and Dr. Sinister, who's one of the most evil people out there in the X-Men universe, is. When I was a kid, that dude scared me. Like how he looked and everything, like what he did to mutants, that guy scared me. The fact that the question I have is, when did he clone Jean? When did he clone Jean? Like, that's because we all want to ask. And Reese said that he had an idea who that character was, like who he thought it was. So I wish he was here to see. But to make a long story short, episode 3 was Sinister clone Jean, and that other Jean turned out to be the Goblin Queen. I know of her, but I don't know much about her. Like I know of her that she's that version of Jean, she's a clone of Jean, but like I don't know much about her. All I just know she's a clone of Jean. So like I feel bad not having my comic knowledge right now. But like I said, that's why I don't call myself a super fan because super fans are the comic experts, and I don't want to discredit them at all. So I wish Reese was here. He'd be able to answer that right now. So I was like, damn. But I thought it was a cool episode right there. And obviously, Sinister wanted to, he wanted Nathan. He gave Nathan some disease or whatever, some shit like that. Let's make a long story short, the cure for that is in Bishop's time. So Cycle said he didn't want to lose his kid because, his parents abandoned him. So they had to let go of Nathan. And so, Bishop takes care of Nathan. And now it's like, okay, hi, Cyclops. Hey, Jean, which by the way, the clone's now Madeline Pryor. So it's like, oh, hey, Cyclops. Hey, Jean. how long? So how long is this going on for? You know what I'm saying? Jean's like, but Jean doesn't have her memory, doesn't have her full memories either. So that's going to be the complicated part as well.
That's the interesting part about the clone gene situation, because usually in the case when there is a clone, like usually there is the central hub of that clone, right, where all of the DNA and all the memories come from. So it's like the fact that like it's almost seemed like they both were like split in half in a sense, to
Yeah.
where yeah, like where it's like one like took some partial memory of the other, like where it's like both of them don't fully have like the memory. Like you could tell, with the Goblin Queen, like as far as like that gene is like she seems a little more aggressive. Like, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
Like
she
you could
is.
definitely tell the difference between the two. And even when they started like when the first episode started, the way she came off, I was like, yo, that don't seem like the real Jean for some reason. Like there was some about it, like the way that she was trying to get, Cyclops away from, the X-Men and
Yeah.
trying to start like a new life. It was like the way she was being so forceful. It was like that's not the real, like I don't remember Jean ever being like that. Like she's very like soft spoken, you know what I mean? Like obviously like been around for a while, a lot of knowledge, but never like a aggressive person unless until she was the Phoenix. But
Well, the Phoenix right there, that's a
yeah,
different type of aggressiveness right there. Like that was just now. Grant, the Goblin King was being controlled by Sinister, so she was evil at the time, but Dark Phoenix still was just. I think I'm be more afraid of Dark Phoenix than Goblin Queen, but go on down.
yeah, no, for sure. Like I mean, the power difference is ridiculous. I mean, even when they showed it in the episode, the following episode where Jean Grey, like she's like ticked off, and then she turns into the Phoenix, and pretty much like, oh no, it is this episode where the Jean, she's at the house and they're like, you can't move, and she was like, I don't have to move from this spot. Like I'm
Use
gonna
my mind.
intervene like just with my mind, and
That
like
was dope. That was dope.
super dope. I love how they did that where it became like a mental battle with Jean, and like showing how much how her powers could
Think,
stretch.
think.
Yeah, bro. And then like yeah, when she like shows like I'm the Phoenix kind of thing, that whole situation, and you're just like wow, like you could see how like powerful she is, but then still in the sense too, like she didn't want to be aggressive. Like it wasn't about fighting, it was more so like getting the understanding that you know what I mean. It was like she was trying to lighten the situation because it would seem like anger and Goblin Queen was just making it worse.
Mhm.
um but yeah, man, I mean, I think that like it was pretty cool like to see that whole sinister like situation, because like I mean it came really fast.
Yeah, I
That's
was.
one thing I can say with
Yeah. Mhm.
this is one thing I can say with this is like everything is moving like real quick, like where you're like every episode after episode you're like whoa, like you're holding on to your seat every situation. And it was like the sinister, it was like all of a sudden it was like he got introduced the last episode where it was like Beast was saying like the only person that could do this is Sinister.
It's
And
so sinister.
yeah, right. And then almost, but I thought it was like super cool, like because Sinister is like a pretty creepy, like X-Men, and like and the way they kind of did it visually, as far as like every situation, it was like a horror film, like
It
illustrated.
was. It was that was definitely one of the moments where it's like, yeah, this TV show is definitely aged into adults right now because it was. I mean, what your boy saw, I don't want. I don't want to see what he. I don't want to see what he saw. He's like, yeah, we can never unsee that. And I'm just like, oh, that is. Oh no, no, no. Like,
Yeah,
I'm too sober for this shit. Like, just imagine if I was high, which by the way I don't smoke. If I was high, I'd be like,
yo, right. I mean, but it was like weird because it was like, yeah, it was like they were melting. So it was like, yo, I understand that there's something not right happening right now. Like,
yeah,
I don't know why they're melting in front of my eyes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's interesting that like it exposed, kind of like what Gambit was feeling that was happening between the
yeah.
two, but it was like very real. Um, which we're gonna get into that
Oh
episode,
yeah.
which
Mm-hmm.
has crushed me morally and no, I'm saying morally. It crushed me in so many ways, being that Gambit is my favorite X-Men of all time. So it's like so it's
I don't
very
have
hard.
any tissues. but I got some Clorox wipes.
Yeah, Clorox wipe.
I got the
Clorox wipe my face.
Yeah, Clorox your face.
I'm not sure if that's. I'm
It
sure
ain't
there's
gonna
someone
help.
infectious that you cannot put that on your face.
It ain't gonna help, but it's a wipes. Got some wipes that can help you out with that.
Oh man. Oh.
Got some wipes, Just because you're a Cowboys fan, I just want to make you suffer even more.
Don't even get me started. Don't even start with that.
No,
Honestly, I don't even talk about Cowboys. I don't speak about them. I don't say nothing because there is nothing to talk about. That is point blank. Period. You will never hear trash talking from me when it comes to Cowboy stuff until I see.
I gotta say, out of all the Cowboys fans that I met, not saying all, but you're definitely one of the smarter Cowboys fans that I've met in my lifetime. So I will give you credit for that right there.
Bro,
we're gonna leave it like that.
I got a brain. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you got a brain.
Just talk out of my ass.
Yeah, you always have a brain. You're a LeBron fan, so you have a brain as well. So you know what I'm saying? So you're a LeBron fan. Yeah. Which, by the way, that podcast of him and JJ Redick, man, like, even though I don't know much of basketball terms, it's very knowledgeable. It's a very, very good podcast.
Oh, come on. JJ Redick obviously has been a great addition to the sports world as far as like commentating and his knowledge of the game, which I didn't know that he had until I saw him on First Take and the things that he says. And he says it in a way that like it's not ignorant, like it's from experience. And he also has like outside knowledge where he gets numbers. So it's the actual data. And then so
he loves the game. You can tell how much he loves the game.
And they always talk about LeBron James too, is his knowledge of the game is like unparalleled as well. So I've never really checked out their podcasts, but I would definitely want to see like their commentary on everything.
It's good. It's good. Highly recommend that. But no, back to what we're saying with X-Men. We don't want to get too sidetracked right there. But no, that episode was good, very dark. And like I said before, they had to let Nathan go to help, cure that disease that Sinister gave him, which, by the way, Sinister, he was Apocalypse's right hand man, but obviously that he has some ulterior motives. And also, people got to remember too, Sinister changed morph too into the more sinister morph back in the old cartoon show, because he was a good guy then. Sinister obviously did his foul shit to him and turned morph into a bad guy and throughout the X-Men. So people forgot about that. Which, by the way, I like how Morph explained what he did to him in last season. Not last season, but back in the 90s.
It's so interesting seeing how terrified Morph is of Sinister.
But you see in the intro too.
Like he could change into anything or anyone, right? And then it's like Sinister just has like that hold on. It's like that person that has like that trauma from something and then they face that person, no matter how strong they are, like that person has like that hold over them, and it seems like Sinister is just one of those characters.
He does. So, like I said, quick on episode 3, episode 4, which I think some people did not like, but I liked it, especially for the nostalgia that it had. It was basically based on Jubilee turns 18, and we get like a granted, this show is a blast from the past, but this one right here with the Motendo looking like a Sega Genesis, and the game cards was a homage to the X-Men 93 Sega Genesis game, which is a very good game, by the way. I think it's considered one of the top X-Men games. It might not be the most perfect game, but it was still a very fun game. And of course, it was Mojo's game, which I'm like, oh great, we're seeing Mojo early on right now, because Mojo's the alien that slaves his music to participate in these games where it's life or death, almost like a bit of a Hunger. Well, I haven't seen Hunger Games, but like I can only assume it's like a Hunger Games type of thing.
Yeah,
right? I never
seen survival. It's like survival.
Yeah, survival right there. And I thought it was very, very cool. Seeing the old school pixelated video games. Also throwing it back to the X-Men arcade game from back in the day. Like I thought the episode was very, very fun. That's it. It was a Jubilee moment, and also
quick.
People might not maybe miss this, but like when Mojo was going over the different show titles, a different world. Yeah, I don't know if people know that. That's homage to the old 90s sitcom right there. Fantastic show. We had Who's the Boss, a very cool show. Then was Summers versus Gray Court, like that. Like they did a
Mm.
lot of nostalgic in episode 4. Like I said, I understand like maybe in terms of like it outside the X-Men, it only focused on maybe that one character. Well, actually, no, it was kind of like a two-part episode. Really, it was like with Storm and Jubilee, but like I feel as though it was just great to see all of that old school arcade stuff right there. Like I said, it was Jubilee and Roberta, so I mean, they didn't have any help. So I mean, okay, I still want to see more Jubilee in this series, but like I felt as though like she definitely had her moment in this episode because she didn't rely on the other X Men. Well, granted, she had her pixelated older so which by the way, I believe that was Allison Court who voiced Jubilee in the original series. So I thought that was a very very cool episode.
That's so dope.
Yeah, like I can see why some people did not like it, but I thought it was fire though. I thought it was fire.
And that's the thing that I'm saying with this show is just like the layers though, like that that they're putting forth in creating it. It's like the nostalgia of it, in multiple ways. And like you're getting people that were fans of just the show in general back then, but now you're taking it a step further where it's like it's kind of like this generation like is probably not going to understand it that much, but it's like for us, you know what I mean, like that generation that did grow up on it and did grow up with Nintendo and those kind of like kind of games, were like, oh wow, like like this is like kind of cool. Like I watch it with a coworker of mine, um and they were pretty much saying like, oh wow, I used to play that game, like, and then like the way that it looked, they were like, yeah, that's how it started, that's kind of cool, like it kind of it takes you on memory lane.
It really
And
does.
even like using like the old voice actress for Jubilee as the older version of her, like I always appreciate her and think it's so cool, like especially when X-Men when they do like the futuristic versions of like characters, because when they show like their advancement, like in their mutant powers and like how they can use it, and then it's like Jubilee's over there fanning out like like wow, I could do that kind of thing, like, and she's just pretty much like, yeah, you got a lot to learn. Like it's like,
Yep.
to me that's dope because it's like I always like it when they include that because you're like, yo, they could do so much more, but they're still developing. It's like how
Yeah.
much more they got to develop to get to this point where they're just like the top of their game, right?
So I mean, she's the youngest X Men, and you also gotta remember this too. Like, she's not with them when they're doing like maybe a lot of dangerous missions. Like on the first episode, she wasn't there when they were finding those Sentinels right there. Like I said, she still has a lot to learn right now. But like I said this earlier. Like, I hope we see more of Jubilee. I'm not saying we gotta see her in every scene, but it's like I want to see her with the X Men on these top dangerous missions because she's getting older. Like, you gotta treat her as an adult one way or the other. So I mean, she's technically an adult now, so we can't be babying her all day. But like I said, it was just a great nostalgic moment because I'm always a fan of always show respect to the people that come before you. Like, I just feel so in this generation now, there's no homage. Like, the younger generation doesn't give a shit about the older generation for how they paved the way for us. And I like the fact that we still see that in these shows right here. Like, I know I'm not trying to be outside the topic, but it's like how we're seeing like adult moments in the show. It reminds me of did you watch Samurai Jack back in the day?
Oh yeah.
And then when it came back on Adult Swim, we had a more mature because people know that we started watching as kids, and now we're adults now. It's like, okay, we gotta turn up a little bit. Whereas X-Men, we watched as kids. Now we're adults. Now they gotta turn up a little bit. So like they still have the core of what made X-Men great, but like they are now adding that adult element to the show, and I really do appreciate that from that.
Mm-hmm.
And now after the Jubilee, we have Storm, which no one seems to be searching for her. By the way, like yeah, we'll be fine. You'll come back. Like it's like no one's searching for her. It's like okay, bye, Storm, bye.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of those things where they're like, oh yeah, she's trying to figure herself out. Like we're not going to press the issue, But also Morph was like, oh, like Storm's back already. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I just think they're just kind of like, oh, we're going to give her space, and then also too, they don't really tell you the time frame in the show either. Like everything seemed like it's in different time periods or like very sped up in certain situations.
No, that's true. You got a point there. That's a very good point. Because I'm wondering, like, when Also, in the episode 3, we see Forge saying that she can help Storm get her power. So, Forge, power for me, can be able to create anything, machinery, technologically wise, in his mind. He's able to do that shit. So, it's happy to see Forge. But I'm saying to myself, but wait, was it Forge in the original 90s show, though? So I'm like, why is he saying,
He had his own he had his own group. Like, it was dope when they showed that picture of him and his crew.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
But I remember like he was a part of it, but I think he was a part of like a few episodes. I don't think he was a part of like the actual
no,
group.
the main chorus we see right there, like characters like Iceman, Colossus, Silent, they weren't part of the everyday crew. Like they're probably characters, but they weren't part of the everyday crew in the in the original 90s show. So yeah. I mean, I hope we see them. I hope we see them soon. We might not, but I would hope to see them.
I feel like this show is like sky's the limit, and I'm like, it's one of those things where like I'm hoping, I'm praying that this show sticks around for a long time. Like it's like one of those things where it's like, I don't want this to be a short run. You know what I mean? Where they give it a little trial run of like, okay, we're gonna give you this amount of episodes, and then they just like say, all right, we're done with it, because they've done that with a couple of things. And I'm just hoping that it's getting the publicity and a lot of like the fandom is starting to grow again from it.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that they continue and can keep up with this level of, the way that they're making episodes and the level of the way that they're creating it. I think that if they could be consistent, this show will be amazing, like all over again.
Like I don't want to change the subject, but you never know, never say never. I don't think they're going to do that because of how these. I mean, these are the first 5 episodes, and I think the first 5 episodes have been fire. Now you still have the other half to go. If it goes on a, I mean, right now it's on a high note. Right now, like we said this earlier that every episode might not be great, but so far I'm glad I'm wrong so far because Arizona has been great. In my honest opinion. And I think Marvel really took their time with this because this wasn't a very, very important project. Like, listen, you're bringing back the X-Men to Disney. If you mess this up, like we said this earlier, Marvel has not been the same. Like, I don't think they're as bad as what people say it is, but definitely has not been the same since post Endgame. You know what I'm saying? So with this, you bringing back a classic show to Disney Plus, like you have it had to be good. Like I'm not saying it had to be great. I'm not saying it had to be perfect because there's no such thing as perfect, but it's like you cannot fuck this up.
They couldn't drop the ball. They couldn't drop the ball on this.
It's already done a great job because now, if you end X-Men 97 on a high note, you know how much hype you're gonna get for Deadpool 3.
Oh yeah.
Like this I feel as though Marvel can be revived with these projects right now. Now, honestly, are they still trying to make the X-Men movie? Is that still a possibility? I believe it is. Yeah, it still is.
I think so. Yeah, they're trying to
it still is. So it's like, I'm like that. I'm hoping that Marvel so far so good. So far so good. But getting on a strong note too. So it's like, hoping that X-Men 97, which also, by the way, Echo was a good show too. Echo was technically the start of 2024, so I feel as though 2024.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. I was going to say Echo wasn't bad. I actually like that a lot.
I feel as though nowadays we want so much more. It's like, I don't know. I feel as though with Marvel, it's like everything got to be top tier perfect. It's like, I understand you want Marvel to be great, but it's like, don't put I feel as though people are putting high expectations. Maybe that's just me though, because we have history like that. Yeah, you expect greatness, but it's like everything's not going to hit. Like I wasn't expecting Echo to be some top tier. Oh my god, show. Like no, I thought it was good, especially being a mature show right there. That was its first time seeing depth shit like this.
Daredevil.
Yeah. So like I said, I think Marvel's done a great job so far. With the X-Men.
I think that they just taken a step higher with making X-Men 97. That I think that what they're trying to do is do a build-up of, all right, let's get back to the core of what X-Men was, the way they created it, in this reboot of this whatever movie they're gonna make, I mean, I'm hoping that they're gonna go with the original outfits and not try to make this different rendition of the X-Men, and it's just gonna help out with building that brand back over again. You know what I mean? Like where it's the classic X-Men that we're getting.
I mean, like I said to Reese a couple weeks ago, I said to him, I asked him, are X-Men the reason why you see superheroes popular today? Like X-Men, the X-Men 90, the X-Men 90s is what got people in in the comics and whatnot. So I feel as though Marvel's like, let's now we're gonna break the X-Men, we're gonna show you why superheroes are on a high mound because of the X-Men. Because like I said, we had the X-Men, I would not be in superheroes. I would not. Simple as that. Simple as that.
Yeah,
Now,
I think X-Men was the most real as far as like
oh yeah,
superhero kind of shows, and I think that's why. I mean, I think it's a perfect time too that they're putting this out, just because of the dynamic behind the show and what it stands for. And what it's really about, like the core nucleus of what the X-Men was created for. I think that we're in a climate now that like X-Men is like the perfect thing to kind of implement on today's society. As far as seeing why it was great back then, and then being like, see, this is why we had made it because of these
you know,
differences that we try to, create for ourselves every day, and creating these divisions where we're trying to build a world of, togetherness, right? So,
but you got some people that are saying Marvel's too woke, X-Men's too woke, and I'm just saying to myself, do you know the reason why the X-Men are created? Go do your history, because there hasn't been a moment where it's like it's too woke right now. Like they're just trying to get attention at this point now. Like it's the easy clickbait thing. You say you have a title that says woke, you get an angry face on there. Oh my god, they're being too blah blah blah, this that, and the third. It's like, all right, yeah.
yeah.
That's the only thing that's gonna get them views at this point right there.
Yeah, I mean, I was, and I've had conversations with friends, people, associates, whoever, that we'll have conversations and we'll talk about a music artists, we'll talk about shows, and we'll talk about different things. And some people don't like when things are like too political or try to be too woke, and because I guess we're afraid of like looking, at the ugly of society. We don't want to see it. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's about the blinders. And I think they're doing it in a way that's tasteful, right? Where it's like I don't think X-Men, this show, is throwing in people's faces, oh, Black Lives Matter or Blue Lives Matter or anything like that, right?
No,
It's not
definitely.
going there. Like, and that to me is where a show tries to be too woke, or it's not touching on other political things that are happening right now.
And
It's
I hate saying that word too, the too woke thing. Like I don't know, like when I say
yeah,
that,
there's
here's
nothing
my
to it.
thing, right? I'll say this. I don't want to touch base too much on this, but it's like
Yeah,
I'll admit I'm a bit woke, but I'm not to the extreme because I know how society is right now. But I'm not to the point where it's like, oh, you see that. Like I'm aware of what's going on right now, but I'm not like forcing you to be like, look at it, look at it, look at it. I'm not forcing you, but like I'm aware of what's going on. I'll just
yeah.
say that.
And I think I touched base on that our first episode, where I started going into that and certain things that were happening in the show and relating it to certain things. And I think that I took some of my things that, because when it comes to art, obviously everything is about what you see, right? It's everything is about expression, and however whatever you see when you look at it, right? And like everybody, other people's like, you know their eyeballs are probably seeing something different. Their mind is probably going to a different place. So I'm not saying like I'm trying to force anybody to see stuff in a certain light, but also too, like, to me, like the ambiguous nature of this show, like you can't help but see the things that are happening, and it's supposed to start those conversations and get people thinking on that level of like, okay, you see these struggles on the show, you see these things that people are going through. How do we kind of like, it's kind of relatable in our society a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
and I think that people thought that the Jubilee and the Storm episode was like a little slow. I thought it was a little slow too. Honestly, like,
yeah, I can see why.
yeah, like honestly, like it was like it was fun. Like I think Jubilee's part was kind of cool, where it had like the retro look to it. You know what I mean? Like it had
Yeah.
like um Kavinsky, like I don't know, like I got like this whole like different vibe from it,
It
where
wasn't. It wasn't a term. It wasn't a major factor into what's going on right now. It was almost like a side mission, right? It's like a side
side thing. It was
quest.
like it's like it's a birthday. Oh, she, getting older, and it's like showing like the kids, like her and Roberto, their relationship, and at the end of it, like them two kissing in her bedroom, right? It's like that old school, like when you turn 18 or when you're dating somebody and you have that first kiss or something. Like so, it was kind of like it showed like little tasteful things like that, right? Where it's like these little like cute little like relationship between her and the new guy on campus, right?
Yeah.
But the Storm episode to me, yes, it was like really slow. Honestly, like it was like I want to see Storm get her powers back. I want
Yeah.
to, and it was like the buildup of the talking between her, and Forge. Like you kind of was just like, all right, bro, like where are we getting at? Like like, but it's also old school X-Men. It's how they used to be. You
Yeah.
know, everything wasn't just like action scenes. Like
Exactly.
there was a lot of dialogue, and I think that like that
Yeah.
episode showing the theatrical parts of what the show can be very versatile in that way.
And I'm wondering who was that creature at the end. I'm thinking to myself, is that Shadow King? I
Joe,
don't
that was
think.
almost as creepy as Sinister, bro.
Yeah,
That
because
was wild.
Shadow King, it was a major factor in Storm's life. Like, do you know about Shadow King at all?
Mm-mm.
Like, I know he's like a demon that can possess he can possess anybody, right? Like I don't know too much knowledge on him, but the first time I recognized him was playing in X-Men Legends. He would take over bodies, and he's like part from what I heard, from what I know, I believe he was part of Storm's origin story because Storm was an orphan stealing shit at the time. I think due to the fact because a Shadow King. Shadow King is a very powerful being, like in the actual plane. Like Professor X knows him and everything like that. But like I said, I'm not that huge knowledgeable. I'm not too knowledgeable on Shadow King, but I just know a little bit about him. But like I don't know if that was him. I'm only speculating. It looked like it. I mean, Shadow King's a demon. He's a dark demon, so maybe it wasn't him, but like it kind of showed resemblance of him. So like yeah, that shit was kind of creepy. That shit
Yeah,
was
man,
creepy.
that
So
big vulture bird or raven or whatever the hell that thing was.
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it's clear. It's clear, like it. The show seems like it's doing a lot of like multiverse kind of stuff, and like a lot of like illusions and things like that are happening. Like where sometimes you're just like, "Yo, are you awake? Are you dreaming? Like what?" You know what I mean? Like, where are you? You know what I mean? There's a lot of that going on in these like recent episodes. So,
there is.
um, so I'm curious, like, you know what I mean, as far as what happened there, because the big Raven thing like bit Forge and like threw him across the room, and like it looked like he got infected. So you might be right
Yeah.
about the Shadow King kind of thing, because I could see that being some kind of possession kind of situation where he got bit. But it was like how she fell and then came through the roof, and then Forge was like, I was coming upstairs to see you. It was like I was like, wait, what? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So that's
I,
when I thought it was a little strange. Like, it didn't seem something seemed off, and that's where I'm. A lot of things that are happening seem off. That like, I mean, I'm hoping that it's a dream. Everything's a dream.
well,
Everybody's asleep.
I think what we just saw.
Dream.
I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna touch base on what happened that in the next episode because that episode 4 was called Nintendo / Life Death Part 1. Episode 5 that we're gonna talk about right now is Remember It. And episode 6 is called Life Death Part 2. So I feel as though this Wednesday we're gonna see
Oh,
a part 2 of that. But let's get to it, y'all. We're halfway hour in, and we're talking about the famous episode 5 that everybody's talking about. Because like before I saw the episode, people were like saying why it was all crying and stuff like that. I'm like, what the fuck's going on right now? Am I ready for this? And like I know we're at the start of episode 5 right now, but it was definitely emotional. Well, let's start with let's try to let's go from start to finish with episode 5. And right now, Anthony is not happy at all. He was very heartbroken. I said heartbroken, but it was a sad episode. This was a sad episode. Like I watched it the second time, took notes, and I felt even more emotional. I didn't feel this emotional in a long time watching the Marvel series. The closest thing I felt emotional was watching Tony Stark die in Endgame. This was like, I think I probably even worse for Tony Stark, but this one, it was getting right there. So let's start off with it, and we see we're talking about the main important parts. You know, Genosha. It's part of the UN now, and it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. This is what Magneto wanted all along. This is what Magneto wanted. Emperor's X, yeah, Emperor's X, yeah. But it was so beautiful seeing all those mutant kids having fun, not being hunted, not trying to be killed by Thanos right now. It was a very beautiful thing to see. I loved it, and we see some familiar faces. We see Dazzler. We see Nightcrawler right now. Like like I never see him so happy. Never even seen him so happy.
Yo, I mean, even that, like the coolness that they made Nightcrawler, which is one of the cooler like X-Men, like the way his teleportation looked, and like his accent. I'm like, yo, this is freaking amazing. Like, I'm like, and I was waiting to see when they were gonna get Nightcrawler back in the mix, and it's like they seem like they're like episodes. They're just like getting characters that we know of like back into it. I'm not gonna continue. I mean, I'm so Genosha. So I thought it was amazing. Like it's like this big utopia of all mutants, and like that's what I was saying. Like this, like in this like sped up kind of situation, because like Genosha, it seemed like it was something that they were still working on in the episode before that, or in other episodes, like there was talks about it, but I didn't think that it was actually done, because then you had like the what is it, the underground mutants or the
Warlocks.
Like they were there, and I was like, well, how did they get there? Because they were back.
Well, no, remember in episode 2. He said Magneto said we're gonna send the Warlocks to Genosha. We're gonna open a path for them. And we saw in episode 2 they were on the ship to Genosha when Magneto was making his speech right there. So yeah, for episode 2, they sent them over there. Which about time, because I felt bad for the Warlocks because they're not living in no fancy mansion. They're in the sewers.
Yeah, sewer rats kind of thing.
Yeah,
but it's like weird too, because it was kind of cool to see like them like having like a good time, like the little like festival in the middle of the city. I don't know if the couple was Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah. So they got the person that shaded that phase through the other guy.
Yeah, the girl.
I forgot his name. He's an accolade for Magneto. The one guy. No, I don't think. Yeah, no.
You know what I'm talking about. They were like dancing. The one like went through the center.
Yeah, no, Cloak is has the blue hoodie. He can teleport anywhere. Let me see what that guy's name was, because that guy is actually an accolade from for Magneto. Let me see.
Yeah. No, but it was. I mean, I thought it was cool. Like, you know what I mean? The fact that they had to go there. Now, it seemed like they started getting into like a lot more heavier stuff, especially with like the UN and Magneto, and like him being like the representative, to represent, and all that kind of stuff. And then like, to me, I just thought it was like the whole idea that he had to have like somebody, a counterpart, to help him out, and like Rogue being a part of that. I was like, come on, man. Like, why? like you needed to find a way to get Rogue to be with you, bro. Like, you're mad desperate that you know what I mean? Like, gotta, present it in a way that like it's the only way, you know what I mean? Even though you know that my man Gambit, that's his girl. Like,
It was
the back and forth between Magneto and Gambit and this little triangle is on my nerves. It's on my nerves, bro. This old ass man.
So is that the fact? Is that the fact that Magneto and Rogue had a thing back in the day? It's the fact that this dude's like an old ass man, and she's like, we don't even know her age. We don't know her age. We can, I mean, Jubilee's 18, so we can only assume that they're probably in their
20s, 30s.
And I don't like to guess women's ages. I don't like that, but like we can only speculate. But yeah, Magneto old.
We just know that Magneto old as shit.
Magneto old. He old. That brother old. So it's more the age that he had a problem. Which yeah, I mean with older dudes and younger girls like that. I mean. Yeah.
He up there, bro.
I like my older women, but would I want to be in a relationship with them? Probably not.
But it's different. Like but you could tell like theirs is not just like a thing. Like it's there's all the feels in it.
But they legit had a thing. Even in the comics too, they had a thing. This is like legit though.
I mean, I get it. I understand. I get it. I like the breakdown that Rogue had with Gambit of like how they met, and showing like her mother and father in there too, which was wild to me. Like that they showed like some of that origin story of Rogue in that way.
Well, the evil mother was Mystique. Evil mother was Mystique.
Yeah, but like the way they showed it though was not like the traditional.
Yeah, it was good. She had a Savage Land outfit on back in the flashback right there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, just on the plane ride too. Genosha was like, "This is so awkward for Gamma right now." I felt bad for him. I'm like, "Damn, bro, you on that? You third someone's third wheeler right now. It's like a third wheel." And I love Gamma and Rogue as a couple. I love them together, but I felt for him. I'm like, damn, bro. But at the same time, though, Rogue's powers, it's like the fact that I can't touch anybody. It's such a difficult thing where, like, I love Rogue, but at times I feel bad for her. Like, it was all about being a mutant. Like, she's definitely one of the worst. She's definitely part of the negative of being a mutant right there. Like, I understand you having a gift and shit like that, but, like, some people, they don't like. Try living in Rogue's shoes right there. It's just, yeah. But I'm not saying what she's doing is right.
The only benefit she got was when she absorbed Apocalypse.
Captain Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel, yeah. And got her powers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. But how do you feel about that journalist that was interviewing the X-Men? And I'm like, when she was interviewing Cycles, I'm like, oh shit. The whole he with keeping the real ghost wrong.
Yeah, he snapped. I mean, she was kind of aiming at it too. Like she was asking some crazy questions.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. She knew
what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. She knew.
Yeah, I mean, like she was like a typical reporter though. Like she wanted to kind of dig in to kind of get that out of him as far as like this kind of unity kind of thing, like how long will it last kind of situation.
Yeah. Me as a journalist major, she was just trying to get some shit. Like I don't think she really cared.
I don't think there was any malice behind it. I don't think she was like I don't think she was like necessarily trying to be negative or like she was just trying to get out of him like what real.
Like the story, like some clickbait, some viewership right there. That's what she cared for. That's what she cared for. But what I said earlier, while I like seeing familiar faces, I like seeing the Hellfire Club. It was cool to see. It was cool to see them. It's the Morlocks. We saw like almost everybody there in that meeting right there. Even the one lady that's not even immune. I forgot her name, but like that was Charles's friend. Forgot her name. Is that Scottish or Irish type accent? I can't tell what the lady, the human that was there with the.
Isn't she with the government?
Yeah, that's like one of Charles's best friend right there. Mm-hmm. Her name. Let me see. I forgot her name. Forgot her name. Let me see. Let me see here. Yeah, Mora. Yeah, yeah. She's human. She ain't no. She does not have any powers, but like she's been an ally for mutants for a very very long time. Like her, I believe her and Professor used to date. All my comic nerds, please correct me on
Mm.
that. She was. Did you see X-Men First Class?
Yep, she was in that. I remember.
Yeah. hmm Yeah. So it was cool to see. It was cool to see everybody, and go. And also, we still have Jean trying to find her memories and whatnot. And when she kissed Cyclops, by the way, Madeline's back in this episode as well. When she kissed Cyclops, Cyclops is still thinking about Madeline because it's like, that's very difficult
Oh,
for him.
Wolverine.
Well, no. Well, Jean kissed Wolverine, and yeah. Honestly, bro, that part's with like the whole Jean Wolverine and Cyclops thing. I'm just like, ugh.
That's another time.
Even when I saw it as a kid, I'm just like, ugh. This thing always just felt kind of odd to me. Now I think it is. I think that's the same thing in the comics, but it's like it's still odd. I'm just like, ugh, I don't know. Like,
it's a play on you got the good guy and you got the bad boy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But also, Jean, let's say Jean kissed Scott, and then you see Madeline. You see that Cyclops is still thinking about Madeline. He's still thinking about Madeline because we had a child together. It's gonna be hard for Cyclops to get over her. Where it's like well, like I said, we don't know how long Jean and Madeline were switched for. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
But if I were around, I'd be like, hey, I'll take it. You won't be like, yes, this is what I need right now. Hey, Cyclops, you think about Madeline. I'm gonna go ahead and go take care of things with Jean right there. You know what I'm
Right?
saying? Like,
that's what
there
I'm
you go.
I'm shocked about. Like, there's two of her now. So what's going on? Like, why are we still with this battle with Jean Grey?
Seriously, man. You know how much Lily cares about you too. So it's like go ahead and it's like, gee, come on. I'm the real man anyway. Cyclops, he a Boy Scout. He a Boy Scout, which no, I'm not. I don't want to go. I don't want to go at Cyclops. I love all my X-Men. Even though I still think that relationship is kind of weird, but I still love them regardless. Though I still love them regardless. But yeah. So back. I mean, that party that they were hosting, right? Now, some people have a problem with Magneto being the face of Genosha, and I think where I'm going with this. Where the quote was, "Most other nations don't allow terrorists to be their leader," but Magneto says, "Yet so many allow their leaders to be terrorists," and I'm just like, "Fucking bar, Magneto." This is why this
it was
show
really subtle too. It was subtle when he said it.
He would say what?
It was subtle when he said it, but
yeah, very subtle. And like I said, what made X-Men so great in the 90s, like they have such great quotes, and it's still being delivered to this day by none other than Magneto himself. Like it was just like, bro, everybody on social media was talking about that quote. Because it's one of the most realest shit ever.
Yeah.
That's one of the most realest shit ever. I'm just like, yo, Magneto.
It's like let's talk about it, but he say it and keep it moving. He like, listen, you're not gonna tell me like
I tell you,
I'm trying to make things better, but you already got people that's already in the system that are worse than me. But
yeah, I was just like, yo, that's like the show to be going in like this right now. Like, you know what? Here's the I've always liked Magneto. I'm not, and I know I'm jumping on a barrier right now, but like, this show is making me love him even more right now because it's like when I was younger, I liked him, but I was like, he's evil. But like, as I got older throughout the years, I just understand Magneto even more. Like, I don't like how he goes about things, but I understand what he's trying to do. Like, I feel as though Magneto has gained more fans from this show. And honestly, I'm thinking about cosplays I'm at New York Comic Con. They want to do that now. Like Magneto is
with
just
the big M.
yeah. I think honestly, I think it'd be easier than now. I prefer the original outfit, but like I suppose this would just be easier to cosplay. Honestly,
That's
and
what I thought
honestly,
was interesting with the two different outfits.
plus it'll show up the muscles too. You know what I'm saying? It'll show up the muscles too.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
Yeah,
here we
real. I'm
go.
like, I'm gonna be like, yeah, flex all these motherfuckers right there. So I think it's perfect. I think it's very perfect. But like, no, like honestly, you can make the argument that Magneto has been the MVP of this whole entire show so far.
Oh hell no.
In terms of like impact. Oh, well. In terms of like, hey, he's got some amazing quotes right there. So I'm just saying, like he. Okay,
I'm
okay,
trying
okay.
to think. I'm trying to think if there's more. I think you might be right as far as like the most impact. Yeah, he might be because of his
In terms
role.
of impactful wise, yes, impactful wise.
Yeah, I think that's what they're trying, how they're trying to narrate it is, in the lens of him coming on to the scene and like being a leader all the way around, like this promise, like way back when of like what he wanted to make, and like his longtime friend of Professor Xavier like passing away, him finally stepping in the shoes that even Professor X said that he was meant to do, because he was like he always believed in Magneto as far as like you're not a bad person, like, and at the end of the day like you're going to do the right thing when the time is right, like, or he had a lot of trust in him. So I think he's just trying to fulfill those shoes, um to kind of erase kind of that bad kind of blood or that bad kind of like feel that you have with Magneto, because that's the way you grow up. When you grow up watching Magneto, you just knew, oh, he's the bad person. I mean, the intro is them like kind of clashing into each other, like it's these two sides, you know. But I think that yeah, I mean his delivery, his quotes, like his way of being, like is definitely probably one of the most impactful. Like, I mean, even in like his heroic like situation at the end of that episode, like where it's like he turns on.
Wait, wait. I want to say that part a little bit. I want to say that part a little bit later. But I do want to ask you, how
Oh
did you
yeah,
feel? Well, say what?
oh yeah. You want to
Yeah,
save that?
we're
Oh,
we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. But how did you feel when Rogue finally told Gambit, the pass? Because like that part was the start where I'm like, I felt it because like, so I can't feel you, Remy. And did Remy said there's things that are like deeper than just skin touch or some shit like that. There's things just deeper
yeah.
than that. And she says, well, most of the time you're right. Gambit knows he's right.
He's got
Gambit knows he's
knowledge,
right.
man. He's a cold blooded. Yo, his swagger is cold. Like at the end of the day, like he's like one of those guys that like he's like I've been around. Like, you know what I mean? Like I know the game. Like I've been in relationships. Like he's just got that swagger about him. That's why I've always loved Gambit. Gambit is just that guy. He's the coolest cat in the group. And like when it comes to Rogue, like his love for Rogue is like I feel like unparalleled. Like I know like Cyclops and Jean, they're like the homecoming king and queen of like, the X-Men, right? Where they're like pretty much like the perfect ones in a sense. And then like Rogue
That
and
society wants you to be like.
yeah, yeah, and Gambit and Rogue are just like kind of like that rebel-ish, like kind of like kids that smoke cigarettes and like skip class kind of relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They got like a certain swag about them, but like I've always enjoyed like watching their relationship, even back in the day. But they're start doing it again now, and I feel like this conversation that she has with him is like so real, and it's like one of
Oh,
those things
yeah.
where like she had to sit down and tell him, and you can see how pissed off he is. He's literally throwing his cards in the fire.
He was crying.
I mean, I don't know if he was crying, but I think that he was upset because he was just like it's kind of like, and I love like how he played it because he was like that he cares about her so much that he's just like you gotta pretty much
Yeah.
do what you have to do, like right. But
It would.
I'll always be here.
He said it would just be fresh, but it's like I'm about to see if it was crying right now.
No, but he had his head down. Like I think he looked mad. He looked angry, like because it was like he knew all along, and it was like it hurt him on the inside. But Gamba's not the type to like cry because you hear that you like someone else. He's more so like just like man, like he hate the fact that the
Oh,
person
he
that
cried. He cried. He cried.
nah, I ain't
He
see no
cried.
tears. There's no tears, bro.
He cried.
No,
There's tears. There's tears. There's tears. There's
I'm gonna
tears.
watch it again.
There's tears.
Oh, his eyes are closed, man. They don't see no teardrops in there. His eyes are
Yo,
closed.
you need to stop, bro.
He just sitting there like this.
I
He like,
just I
man,
just showed you evidence.
it
I
hurts.
just showed you evidence just now. You being that stand. You being a stand
That's
right
him,
now,
bro.
my dude.
Yo, that's bracing for impact. You know, like when you're at the top of a roller coaster and you know you about to do the drop and you close your eyes. Yo, that was him like taking them hits of Rogue telling him.
What?
He
I
closed his
got the
eyes like,
receipts. I got
he's like, he's
I
like,
got the receipts. I got the receipts. The receipts. I got the receipts.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Look, nah, look, he cold. Gambit
But
cold.
you had to
And
feel his pain, though. I felt his pain.
I like the fact that he said he says something in there and he holds up the card in the camera. And that's what I'm saying. Like they're doing such a good job with the show. He holds up the Queen of Hearts.
Mm.
And I realized that the second time I watched it, where it's kind of like, you know, it's all in her favor. Like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like she's the control of like whoever she chooses to be with, it's on her. Like you're the Queen of Hearts. Like we're both trying to be with you. So your decision, it all boils down to you. And I thought that was like so clever how they use that because he's throwing every card in the fire and then he holds that one up. And I'm like, that's this the symbolism of that is like super dope.
Some people might not agree with this, but I feel as though their love is almost sometimes better than Cyclops and Jean Grey at times.
Oh yeah.
Like the love is there and it just sucks that he can't feel her. And which when she kissed Magneto during that dance, just like, yeah, Remy was right. You just got to. I know it's deeper than just the kiss right there.
Deeper than just the touch.
It's deeper than just the touch. And I'm just like, why is this show just got so many goddamn bars, yo?
It's like, bars because I'm sorry to cut you off. It's touching on like the real idea of like what love is, like the fact that like it's like you don't have to just be able to touch somebody or be able to do those things in order to like love them, but like it's that like that connection that you feel is deeper than that. And that's why I'm like, come on, man, because that's what a lot of people they base their relationship off the touch. They off of what, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to be with you so I can kiss you. I'm trying to be with you so that we could do this or that, right? But then if you take all of that out, right? And it's like when we have conversations, when we're just with each other, like I just got this mad love for you just as who you are. And if I am able to touch you one day, it's just gonna propel it. And that's why I think Gambit and her relationship is all because it's like Gambit is that guy that he can get any woman. But it was like, but his eyes is on her. Like he's like, this is where I want to be right here. And like, even though I can't have you right now, I'll wait for you.
It's a beautiful thing between those two. Now, right when that's happening, we see the Cable with Nathan growing up now as Cable is like, yo, stop the music, stop the music. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Because actually, right before that, Madeline's nose is bleeding after that that tub hit that.
Is that Madeline? That's Madeline, right?
That's Madeline. Yeah, that was Madeline. Yeah. So I don't know if it was a sign for things to come right there because Cable said, yo, stop the music, stop the music. And I'm like, Ocean, what's up with that? What's up with that happen? Soon as he left, bam! That wild sound appeared. It almost looked like they were in the future when it almost looked like Days of Future Past right there.
That scene was yo. the panic, the fact that they display panic in a cartoon, or the that they were in a crisis, like Cable coming and just being like, I'm too late, right? And then like, oh, like what is he too late from? Like, and something's about to go down. And then he just goes back into the portal. I'm gonna get my thoughts on him going back in that portal, and I'm hoping I'm right. But the fact that he says he's too late, and then that big explosion happened, and the way that it showed the explosion, like that, like still kind of like, like wake up, like what just happened type of like first person situation was kind of cool how they did that.
No, we know. So what were you about to say just now? You said you hope you're right, or
I hope I'm right about my thought on when he goes back in that portal,
okay,
of what might happen, and like, because obviously he's going into the future, like he's trying to prevent whatever happened.
yeah.
Reason why he said like I'm too late. You know what I mean? Like, so me, like him being able to jump through time, I'm keeping hope alive. That the things that transpired after he went back into the portal and then the explosion happened, we got this big heroic scene with Magneto. I mean, when you talk about like the amount of like this ginormous colossus, like sentinel, like motherboard of sentinels, like that thing looks so vicious. The way they showed it on that, like it made you
Wild
scared. Like,
Sentinel.
huh?
I think that's considered a wild Sentinel.
Yo, but the way that it looked like, and then it's dropping more sentinels down, like as
Yeah.
it's blasting through. It was like horrific, because you're just like, yo, everybody's dead, bro. Like everybody's gonna die. I
Like
mean, it was, yeah.
you felt not such a like you felt it like the music was all done like you. It's like you said, like the way how they showed it in a cartoon. Because when you see it in like in a live action, you're like, oh my god. But when you see it in past cartoons, you're like, okay, it's sad, but you're like, okay, you don't feel it this way. This one right here was just I can't really explain it, but it just felt this fear, desperation, like they were just all troubled. They were just like, what just happened? We were just all partying, and next
Mhm.
thing you know, bam.
That moment of peace was gone just like that. And
Yeah.
like I think like it was a cool like indication of like how things can go south like really fast. When you think about like, people that like are in a situation where you're living your regular life, and the next thing you know, all of a sudden everything goes to hell. Like it's like hell on earth out of nowhere. And the amount of destruction, the people that were injured, like Nightcrawler with his desperation to grab them at the last second before they get blasted. And then you're thinking Nightcrawler might be dead. Like it was just like you could see like he had already saved like quite a few people before he even
Yeah.
got to them. And it was like that, like, and then you go from like the situation when they're getting off the plane, and the excitement and like the joy that they had with seeing Nightcrawler, like their longtime friend, to him saving them in the last second, to them making sure he's okay, and then Rogue not being able to touch him because her hands are exposed. It was just like that last bit, like, and then the show like the heroics of like Gambit, and their last stand where they're just like, we're going to save as many people as we can. Like, this is what we do. Like, we're the X-Men. Like, when they flew in, it was like people knew the X-Men were there. We're like,
Yeah.
these are our saviors, basically. And so we're like, we're not going to abandon these people. Like, we're going to stay here and save everyone.
I mean, Magneto said we're not going to spend wondering what could have been.
Mhm.
We go ahead and do this shit. He even said they'll be avenged too. But
Yeah.
the one sad scene that I saw, like we're get to the other sad scene, but like when he was with Leech and everything, like he,
Mm.
oh my god, it's even hard. It's hard to even talk about like the Mega said Omega, the Sentinel said Omega threat detected, and he's trying to protect everybody. At first, the Mohawks were like, Bleach was like, no, they're gonna come and save us, which Gambit did, and the X-Men did save him. Yeah. But at that part right there, where Magneto was trying to protect everybody, and you just see Leech looking at him, and Magneto even pushed Rogue and Gambit away right there.
Mm-hmm.
He knew what was going to happen. He was trying to protect them. But as Leech is looking at Magneto says in Leech's language, well, I don't know if it's Leech's language, but it's definitely not in English. But he said, "Do not be afraid."
Yeah.
And that explosion happened, and you just see the.
He said that he won't be afraid anymore.
Yeah, he said. Yeah, he told us even on episode 2, you'll never be afraid. And oh my god, bro! Just talking about that scene right now, and then you heard the heart. You even heard I think it was like a heartbeat sound right there after that scene. And you saw Rogue was pissed, and she was getting ready to die too, but had Gambit not used his motorcycle to push her out the way. And
see, that's what I'm saying with Gambit. It's just like he understood that she was about to sacrifice herself. And he saved her by throwing that motorcycle at her because she was no longer thinking straight. And it was like she was just in a rage. And that thing was about to take her out. And just like that, it was like she had no shot. It was like,
yeah.
But he knew that. I mean, the fact that he was able to get that bike up there that fast to intersect her, like, you know what I mean? But come on, bro. Like, I hate it when shows or whatever TV movies do that, where it's like the person that's gonna die is like showing all their skills and just how badass they are. Like like that whole segment going up to it, like they show like the real Gambit, the Gambit that I like. Mm-hmm. And like, I mean, even when he saved, them like from like when they're like, all the X-Men are not gonna save us. And then they ended up going down there, and like he has like some of his Gambit lines, you know what I mean? Like that last bit of heroics, like because
Gambit sees your bet and raises it.
Yeah, but oh my gosh! But then the way they filmed that, and then like him jumping up there, it was like, whoa, what's he gonna do? And then when it stabs him in the side, I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, I'm like, come on. I'm like, why? Gambit of all people. And then the fact that he was like, name's Gambit. Remember it. Yo, the fact that he used his powers and blew the thing up. I didn't even think of that, right? It's like, it showed their knowledge of like how like not only do they have powers, but like they're taught to be smart, like, and how to use it.
Yeah. Like you said before, remember on the first episode, Cyclops when he took off his the guy took off his blaster. It's not his blaster, but like his, what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He opened it and destroyed the whole entire thing up right there. Like,
blew up.
These mutants are powerful. We don't know like how powerful these guys are, and just they continue to amaze me in how well they use their powers. Because I don't know if Gambit is at the Omega level threat.
Mm-mm.
I don't believe he is, but looking at Omega level threat just by destroying that wild settler right there, like this settler was doing some work. It was like it wasn't a master mode, but like it was still like fucking everybody up. Like Gambit says, you fight that thing, you're dead. Like nobody stood a chance against that thing. But
I mean, it had multiple heads. Like it was just turning at a dime. It's wild.
It was scary.
I mean, but that last bit of heroics, and then for it to blow up, and then like the newscaster was like, it's horrific. Like just seeing like the devastation, and then all the X-Men are kind of like looking on. But then like Rogue, holding Gambit like in the middle of like the explosion that that he just saved everyone's life pretty much. And it's like Gambit halfway burnt to a crisp, you know what I mean? And like those ending lines of Rogue saying like I can't feel you, right? That part alone, you're like, yo, he's dead because he has no life in him. right? So
she's touching him.
yeah, she's able to touch him, and like nothing's happening. She doesn't like she's not able to absorb anything from him. So that like just last line and just like cut off, like yo, that to me, like the writers of that whole situation, and then to say we're going to end this episode with her saying this line because this episode was all about their relationship and them not being able to touch each other, and her saying like I can't, but I just want to be able to feel you. I can't feel you, and her to say that at that exact moment where she's able to act, she's got him in her arms, and says that yo, chef's kiss, like of just excellent like execution, and to make people feel something for that
I'm
episode.
still, I'm still feeling just by talking about it and thinking about it. It's what we said earlier. Just to touch base on how well the show has been doing so far. Like those are the first 5 episodes, and like I said, I believe it's yeah, it's 10 episodes. And like I said, these episodes have just been the writing's been great, the fight's been great, animation's been great, characters are still the same characters that you love from back in the day. The quotes have been amazing. It's just this year has just been so far has been a good year of Marvel, and you definitely gotta get credit to X-Men. Which honestly, I think it's only this Echo and Deadpool 3. No. I could have harked this. She'll be back later this year, but like I just feel as though X-Men has been the MVP of Marvel this year. And now I said I'm loving that we're feeling this way from episode 5, but we still have 5 more episodes. To me, and here's the thing, maybe I'm putting unexpected expectations, but I feel as though from here on out, you can't have a bad episode because I'm feeling this way from episode 5. This ain't no season. This ain't no episode from before the season finale. This ain't no season finale. This is the middle. This is mid season. And you already have me feeling like this. Like it's already bad enough that Storm lost his powers, but now you got Gambit dying. Now we don't know who Magneto is.
Magneto did.
Like arguably, but in these first 5 episodes. Now here's the other thing too. Now this is the part that I'm a bit nervous for. I don't think the next episode, as I said previously, is that we're going to be focused on what just happened. I feel like it's going to be mainly focused on Storm because it's called Life Death Part 2.
Yeah, it's going to be about Storm, which is cool. I like that they're breaking it up. So you have multiple like situations that you're invested in, like seeing if that's going to happen. Like, is she going to be able to get her powers back? And then, they'll probably spin back into this whole situation and what's going down. And that's why I'm hoping Cable's gonna pull some kind of something and go into the future or something along those lines. And
you got him and Bishop coming from the. Maybe I'll hope to have him and Bishop come from the future right there.
I need Gambit back in the show, bro. We can't have this.
Yeah. Are you gonna cosplay as him? Maybe I'm sorry you haven't cosplayed as him since you love Gambit so much. You might as well cosplay as him in the future.
I might. I thought about it. I know it's like it'll take some work because it have to be done the correct way. Like it has to look legit. Like I don't want it to be. Yeah, when it comes to being Gambit, I gotta have the right jacket, have the right outfit, everything.
When you cosplay as your favorite character, you definitely want to make sure like it's like legit. Like it ain't no cheap fabric, clothes or whatever shit like that. Want to make you feel like, yo, I am Gambit. Like I'm that dude. When you see me, I am Gambit.
Would people be like, I'm him? I wouldn't be like I'm. You know what I mean? Like
I'm him.
So,
I don't want to say RIP to Gambit because like I still think something is so it's only mid-season, so hopefully we get something later in the season right there. But
it was rough. That episode was rough.
It was.
Leave it. I was like, they didn't.
I hate it and I love it. I hate it and I love it. I hate that episode, but I love the episode at the same time. Like
everybody was dead. There's no way they can. I mean, I get it. Like this is like after a lot of things. Like this is supposed to be what the the aftermath of everything. Like this is supposed to take place after the old X-Men show.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like nervous. 'Cause I'm like, yo, did they just take out my boy Gambit after all this time?
But the thing is, like, their question is, where did that wild sound come from? Where did this all come from? Right there.
Yeah,
We don't even know how it even got there.
that's what I mean. That's why I'm like, I want to get the answers to all of this, and that's why I like the fact that they got you on the edge of your seat waiting for it too.
Yeah, and Cable said, "Stop the music." Like,
well,
what does the
get
music?
everybody's attention. He just wanted to get everybody's attention because everybody was like partying and stuff like that, and he's just like, "Yo, like." It's like when somebody comes and be like, "Yo, stop the music! Like everybody, listen up! You gotta go!" You know.
True.
And so I don't think it correlated to that. I think that, like, you know, I think Nathan might have a poor. I think his watch might have been broke or something because how you get there late. You know what I mean? Like,
man, yo, first of all, you talk to the wrong person. Why would you talk to your mom? Like, oh, hey, mom, I haven't seen you in a long ass time. I was like, yo, because she's so happy to see him. She's not realizing what the fuck's going on right there.
Yo, the pause, bro. Oh my gosh, it's you, Nathan. Like all of that whole situation. We ain't got time for this, bitch. Everybody about to
gotta die. Mom, shut the fuck up. Listen to what I say. Get everyone out of here. But he's like, even if you stop the music, how can I explain that in such a short amount of seconds? You're only there for like 10 seconds. Something like that.
He was late. There was no way. Even if they didn't even speak and he got to the ballroom and got in front of everybody, they wouldn't have been able to get everybody out before that thing showed up.
He wouldn't. No.
So that's why I'm like, he was late. Like, you need to go back into your little time chamber. You need to come back at a faster time this time around.
And you get one that can last longer. Yeah, but get time that can add more durability right there because you're only there for 3 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds.
Bro, bring him back. Bring him back, bro.
Oh man.
Dead. That's all I gotta say, bro. I mean, honestly, like
it was sorry, listen. No, it was just sad, bro. It was just really, really, really sad. And
and it's not only the fact that like he sacrificed himself, right? Like he's a hero. They should make a statue after him. It was the fact that Rogue chose him. Like, even though he walked out of the ballroom and was heartbroken because he saw them floating in the air, spinning like they were on top of the world, able to touch each other, being able to see that. Like, I mean, my man's heart was broken before he sacrificed himself. And he didn't even know that she ended up choosing him.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
God damn.
No,
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
I'm done. Yo, there was so many layers to this like episode when it came down to them, but just I think like this was like it wasn't supposed to be, but it turned to be like a love story kind of thing that was supposed to touch on the heartstrings for sure.
I hate it here. And actually, you're the Gambit fan, so like you feel more sad about this than I do. But
Bro, I was so done with the show. Honestly, I was done. I was like, nah.
When it's our favorites, we feel some type of way about this. So
bro, pick Morph, bro. Go get somebody else. Get Roberto, dog. I don't. Who's Roberto? Like, get him. Like, why? What we going through is Gambit. Like, of all characters, why we getting Gambit out of here? Knowing that like Gambit is like one of the coolest. Like, come on, bro. They knew what they were doing. I say that they knew what they were doing because they knew it was gonna be a lot of pissed off people. People were gonna be like, "Oh wow, like Gambit." I mean, also there might be some people that don't give a damn. There might be people that was like, "Oh, I'm not really a big Gambit fan." Oh, dang, that's sad, but whatever. But man, I'll tell you what. As soon as that episode ended, I was like, They didn't just do that. Like it was like one of those things where I was just sitting back. I was like, they're not just in the episode like that. I mean, I knew it was coming that they were gonna close it out, but it's like one of those things too where you have to wait for episodes and you're not binging it, and it just leave you on red like for a while.
Bro, you're not the only one that felt this way for this episode. The whole world we lost an angel.
Oh.
We lost an angel. We lost an angel.
One of the coolest mofos in X-Men, bro.
Listen, I love all my X-Men. I don't want to see I don't want to see any of them go.
But
honestly, we still haven't gotten a good Gambit from the live action film. He's always been bad. At least they
should just not touch that, bro. Because they have to pick the right person, man.
Shannon Tatum was supposed to be playing Gambit, but apparently they fucked him over.
I don't even know if he'll be able to do it right. There's a certain coolness, man, that comes with that role, and to be able to
you need to be really, really, really cool.
And that Cajun accent, you got to get somebody from. You actually got to get somebody from the South. I honestly think that one guy that played in Logan probably would have played a good, like talking wise, and like
in the Wolverine movie.
Logan, the villain guy with the hand, metal hand.
That movie is just I'm on this sad shit right now, yo. I don't want to talk about this sad shit anymore. I'm done. I'm done about talking about this sad shit.
Logan was another one. Yeah, that was but that was the only one to me that they did right. So
that movie was really good.
Movie was. When I saw that movie, I was like, I stood up and gave that a good. Heartbroken and all, but that was
really, really good. It was the last good Fox movie that we got from the X-Men, because I think we had Dark Phoenix after that, and I'm just like, oh god, what is this right here? And I think that movie was just made for was like, you know what, Daisy bought us out, fuck it, let's just do this shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what's even worse, Dark Phoenix or X-Men 3. Those both of them did not have a good. Well, I would say the effects of what Phoenix can do, like the effects were pretty cool in Dark Phoenix movie, but like, they're both bad.
Yeah, and I think X-Men 2. The best part of the movie was the beginning scene with Nightcrawler.
You don't like X-Men 2 all that much?
Nah, not really. It was decent. Like, it was a lot of good.
I think as a kid I loved it.
Yeah.
But maybe looking back at it, how it was. First of all, now I look back at it, I'm like, I didn't like the fact that X-23, Deathstroke was whooping Wolverine's ass. I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, this is supposed to be like an even fight right here. Wolverine's getting his ass whooped by Deathstroke.
Completely whooped.
He got lucky in that fight, really. It really will be honest with you. And I love you, Jackman, as Wolverine too, but it's like, I need to see like some fights they did Wolverine. I gotta be honest with you, I'm just like, yo, you can do a lot better than that.
They had some pretty. I think that Hugh Jackman did a good job.
Oh, he did a good job playing Wolverine, but like his fight scenes could have been a lot better, because times he got actually by Mystique too in the first movie. He got attacked by Mystique too. He was just able to find out Mystique was the wrong one because of his smell. Like, he gets his ass whooped by like a good amount of people that know how to fight.
Yeah. And that's not supposed to be the case. I think, even on what was the one where the girl with the fingers? Was that which X-Men was that? That wasn't 2 or 3. Was that 3?
With the fingers? No,
when he goes, she had the animanium in her too, but like it was
like Deathstroke.
Yeah.
With the nails. Yeah, she had the long nails.
Yeah, which X-Men was that?
X-Men 2.
Was that 2?
Yeah, when she's whooping his ass, and he got the animanium thing to like kill her.
Yeah. That was 2. Wow. Yeah. I mean, that scene was wild, but yeah, he was getting his ass whooped by her too. Remember, like he almost died.
Yeah, and I'm like, bro, like you should fight better than that.
Yo,
Like,
she was stabbing him back. He just like ah.
it looked like he was just a guy that was in his claws. He didn't even know how to fight.
It was so bad, and I'm like, bro, like she just got this like put into her. Like you have like
and their story in that one was not. I forgot how they. I think they changed up her story in that one. I had to relook at that, and I didn't really like it or what they did. Honestly, Fox Fox and the X-Men, even for the first one, was all kind of weird because, like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but like think about it. In the first X-Men movie, Magneto wanted to change everybody into mutants. That's not him. He wants to kill humanity. He doesn't want to change him into mutants. He wants to kill humanity. Like that kind of goes against everything that you fought for. I'm gonna turn y'all on to mutants. Like,
yeah.
Let's just and I thought, and honestly, Toad was one of people's asses too in that movie. I'm like, Toad of all people, that's not Toad should not be one of people's asses. Even though he was a cool character, I'm like, obviously Storm killed him because she's like, yo, I control the elements. Why am I getting my ass kicked by this dude with a fucking tongue?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and she electro blasts him into the air.
Yeah, like he's like, you should have done from the beginning right there. But yes,
yeah, but very heavy episode. Very
heavy episode. And where to go from here, we just gotta wait and see. But as I told Anthony, it agrees with me too. I don't think we're gonna get a follow up on the last week's episode. It's just gonna be we're gonna go back to Storm, and then we'll probably go back to what's going on in Genosha right now because, damn, Genosha. Maybe we might need maybe we need a break from Genosha. Maybe they're like, even though y'all are heartbreak, let's go with another episode. Let's go with a different episode. Then we go back to the heartbreak right there.
Yeah, they didn't even give us a break.
Maybe
maybe that needs a little bit of
maybe you need some therapy.
I don't know if it's therapy. It's just like that. You need that time away from each other for a little bit. Let's revisit this conversation when we're a little bit at ease.
Yeah, be sure to talk to Nicole. Tell her that you love her. Say just lie your hand on her lap right there. Be like, I'm so hurt right now. I don't know what life is right now. Life is so cruel. Life is so cruel. But people, let us know what you guys think about this episode. Like I said, very emotional episode. If you're watching it, be sure to give this video a like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel out a lot. Because right now, we're just emotional shook right now. Even though it's Sunday, X will come on in a few days. And, obviously we're not saying to forget about this, but it will be a bit of relief, watching something else right now because now I could be wrong. We could be going straight into going back to Genosha, but like I feel as though we're gonna go back into Storm right now. I think that's what's gonna happen because it's like because we might not be emotionally prepared for what to see in the next episode possibly.
They can't do it back to back. I think like you'll forget.
I mean, okay. Let me just say this, and let me just cut you off. But as a guy that watches anime, Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 Shibuya arc, yeah, they will break your heart in back-to-back episodes. They will do that. They've done that already. So I mean,
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Say what?
I gotta watch that all the way through. I'm still on season 1. Like I watched it before, but then like I didn't see the movie.
All right, finish season 1, then watch the movie because the movie's canon. The movie is actually canon. Okay. It takes place. It takes place before the event of season 1, and season 2. Good luck.
Wow.
When you watch season 2 Shibuya arc, good luck, man. I'm surprised you haven't seen any spoilers because social media was spoiling the hell out of that anime. But when you get to season 2 of the Shibuya arc, Jujutsu Kaisen, good luck. So all my fans out there that have seen Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, I'm giving Anthony a heads up on that. Like, you need to be emotionally prepared. All right, like you only the strong will survive season 2. Only this. You think I'm laughing? You think I'm laughing? But I am not playing. Like, only the strong will survive season 2. So may God help you watch season 2. May God help you. Finish season 1. Like I said, finish season 1. Watch the movie. Then you can watch season 2. And let me know what you think. Because so anyway, but we're gonna end this. We're gonna end this right now because I don't. Oh God, I don't want to go into more of emotional wreck right now because oh God. Yeah, I got to end it right here, folks. We got to end it right here because with this episode and then talking about JJK, yeah, I don't think I want to be able to last long right here. But as always, folks, be sure to comment, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. Hopefully, we'll do this again next week, and we'll talk. Like, I'm not saying that you won't be emotional, but like, hopefully, it's like not too emotional destruct right now for next week's episode. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But like I said, be sure to follow Anthony on his Instagram. I'll be sure to have his Instagram account in the description box below. And like I said, give us a like, comment, share the video, subscribe, helps the channel a lot. And let us know what you guys think of this episode because, yeah. So I'm going to say, Anthony, you have any last words?
No, man. I just hope that I hope that my thoughts on what's gonna happen, and that we get like a little resurgence of like what happened, so I don't feel this bad going forward. After this Storm episode, I'm just hoping that we reel it back in. There's something figured out by the time this is over this season, so that I get that joy of knowing that Gambit is not deceased at this point.
Nicole, be sure to hold Anthony tight. Be sure to hug him because he's gonna need you for these next couple of days. He's gonna need you, or these next couple of weeks for all that matter.
I'm trying to get her to watch it.
Oh, please let her. Oh, come on! You gotta let her watch it. You gotta let her watch it. You know what? Let her know these are my exact words. Do not fuck them up. Let her know that if she does not watch X-Men '97, don't talk to me. Let her know. Let her know. Oh yeah, I'm going there. I'm going there. Let her know. Don't talk to me.
I'm gonna let her know.
Yeah, you should be dead to me at that point. Should be dead to me. But folks, like I said, it's getting a little later now. I gotta be going to bed pretty soon. So like I said, comment, subscribe, share the video, follow on social media, and we'll see you guys next weekend. You guys have a good night. You guys be safe.